a chance for people to try these green apple gummies, be one of the first to try it. You even get to try it before me. 100% just giving stuff away today. So, Tony Perez at DSP Insurance is giving away some Garnet Gold gift cards. If you, we'll get to all of this. But anyway, not going to go over it all right now. We'll spread it out so it's not a big commercial. But again, it's all about you guys today. It's all about winning and getting you guys hooked up with gear, gummies, gift cards, Triple G. Do me a favor and hit the share button. If there's anybody you want to hear from, tag them in. If they don't suck, if they suck, let's avoid tagging them in. But let's get after it today. We spoke with, I want to say Ryan Clark every single time, and it wasn't Ryan Clark. I don't know why that is just stuck in my brain. We spoke with Drew Carter last night on Double Fries No Slaw. He will be calling the game in Tallahassee this weekend. So I was excited for him and glad that we were able to get him on and chat a little bit. Gave him a few Tallahassee recommendations. Hey, if you're going to the game this weekend, I want to hear what else you're doing in Tallahassee. What are you doing to wait out this rain delay? That hasn't been announced yet, but that's coming. Weather delay, right? They'll play in rain, but man, the weather tomorrow looks terrible. I'm already in a bad mood, but not really. I'm in a good mood. But what do you guys got going, man? Hit my DMs. Hit us up on the chat here on YouTube. If you're watching, again, retweet. If you're listening, share, all those things. So let's get into it. Let's give a quick shout out to Gramco. Let me throw some tweets up in the top of the space. Let me kill a little bit of time. Look, I was prepared today. I actually tweeted stuff out before the show. I was talking with the folks over at Gramco today, and I used to just use like the 15-minute shout out segment as my time to like throw stuff up in the top of the space. That is obviously incredibly difficult now because Josh isn't here doing the shout outs. We should have Josh in for like 5 minutes every day just to do shout outs and then like kick him out. Maybe I'll tag Josh in and see what he's doing today. I mean, he's unemployed, so, should be doing nothing. But I was talking with the folks over at Gramco today, and we're going to do a giveaway with them. So they posted a graphic on their Instagram. I just put it up in the top of the space. Go find that graphic that's in the top of the space. Go to Instagram and like it and follow them on Instagram. We're going to give away 2 samples of the green apple gummies before you're going to be one of the first people to try it. All you have to do is reply to that tweet with a screenshot of you following Garnet and Gold. If you've already followed them in the past, send the screenshot. If you're following them new today, send the screenshot. We'll enter everybody into a drawing and see who can try the green apple gummies, be one of the very first ones to try it. Again, it's a link to Game Day with Gramco up in the top of the space. Go like their page, go like the post, follow them, and send us a screenshot. We'll pick one person that's already following and one person that follows now. So try and make it even, try and make it fair, try and take care of both sides. Don't unfollow and follow back. You'll get disqualified from that. I know Aaron's going to do that. I can already tell. Don't do that on Instagram. Gramco, thegramco.com, TJ25 at checkout will save you 25%. Those green apple gummies are going to hit, so be one of the first ones to try it. Flex on the timeline. 2 sample pack for Aaron would be like, that'll last him like 8 weeks. So that'd be cool. So maybe Aaron will win. Thegramco.com, TJ25 at checkout. Okay, I sent this space to a couple of different people. I sent it to the guys at the Duquesne podcast. So hopefully they'll come on soon. I also sent to my buddy Paul. He's coming on at 12:30, so we'll have him good to go there. Hey, while we have people in here and while it's starting to fill out a little bit, I'll tell you guys, shout out the early listeners. We'll do another giveaway real quick, and then we'll kind of get into thoughts about about what's going on this weekend. But if you're not in the space, okay, yeah, people on YouTube, how do they get it? So here we go. If you're on YouTube, I'm putting a link in the comments. You can go here and you can like the post on Instagram. Send me a screenshot on any social media that you followed Gramco, and I'll get you hooked up. So that link I just threw in the comments here on YouTube. Garnet and Gold is also doing a giveaway. This one's a little bit easier, but see if anybody can get lucky and win both giveaways or not. If you go to the top of the space and just go to the actual space tweet, the one that says fire up the spaces, tomorrow is game day, blah, 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 the one that actually has the link of the space in it. if you just reply to that tweet, you don't have to quote it. In fact, you shouldn't quote it because you don't want people that aren't in the spaces to find out about this. Just reply to the tweet with how many points you think FSU scores tomorrow. If you think we score 49, reply with the number 49. Doesn't matter what the Duquesne score is. If you include that, it's fine. You're not going to get disqualified. Reply to me with the number of points you think FSU scores. If you get that right, we will give you a Garnet and Gold gift card for that amount of money. If you pick 49 and the Noles score 49 points tomorrow, you get $49. The Noles score 75 and you pick 75 points, you get $75. You think the game gets canceled and the Noles score 0 points, you get $0 if you get that right. But that's our challenge today. Go ahead and get that done. Of course, Richie quotes it because he has to ruin all the fun. Couple of giveaways. I'm not going to be able to read my mentions now. So if you have questions, shoot me a DM. We have, okay, Jordan. Let me scroll down and find Jordan real quick. Jordan, if you can, request to speak by hitting the button in the bottom left-hand corner. I'll send you an invite, and we will talk a little bit about Duquesne to start off our space. Again, go to Gramco's Instagram, like the post that's in the top of the tweet, top of the space, follow their page, send me a screenshot to my DMs or reply to the tweet. It's easier if it's all in reply in the tweet. That way I don't have to go through every single DM. A lot easier if you just reply to the tweet. But do that. Also, tell me how many points Florida State's scoring tomorrow. If they score that many, you get a gift card for that much. Shout out to the folks at Garnet and Gold. We're also going to give away one of those new NIL shirts that they came out with for the team. I will tell you about that after we chat with Jordan a little bit. Jordan, how's it going, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You guys started a podcast, the Duquesne podcast, where the literal name of the podcast is The D's on Fire. I just have so many things to say and am not saying any of them. But, hats off to you guys for that is wild. I don't want to ask what led to that being the name of the podcast. So we'll move on. But I did watch yesterday's episode. You guys are funny. You guys did do a good job. And so I came out Wednesday, I guess. But I did watch the episode. It was good. I appreciate you guys, having some fun with it. I also love how you guys covered, all the sports. And that's something that I've tried to do on my podcast is I know that football is king and we all understand that, but something that I've tried to do as well. So hats off to you guys. Give me your, let's talk with the people about this, but did you go to Duquesne? Like what is the respect or the love there for Duquesne?
Yes. So Nick and I both went to Duquesne, and then Nick actually also went to law school at Duquesne. So we both have, that's kind of where that love started.
How'd you get there? Did you grow up like Duquesne fans, or did you just happen to end up there? Or are you from Pittsburgh, or what's the situation there?
No, I'm actually from the opposite end of the state, just a little bit north of Philly. But I just went with a friend just out visiting schools, Pitt, Robert Morris, Duquesne. And I just had the best time on my campus tour. I think it was the tour guide, a lot of it. It was a beautiful day too. But being right in the city, I couldn't stay away. I kind of just shut out all schools after that.
What was your tour guide? What was her name?
I do not remember. But it was a girl. It was a girl.
Oh, man. Well, you said it was a beautiful day. I thought you were going to say it was a beautiful girl or something. But anyway.
That too.
I fell in love with the tour guide and picked Duquesne. So it happens to the best of us. Okay, so you go into a matchup like this. You guys kind of did it similarly last year with the TCU matchup. But when these games get scheduled, as a fan of a smaller, not necessarily a traditional power, when this game gets scheduled, do you just kind of like roll your eyes and think like, oh God, here comes another beatdown? Or do you just kind of say like, all right, well, this is how we keep our program alive? Like, or are there mixed feelings? Like, what are your thoughts when you first see that?
I love it. I think it's a great opportunity, especially in the beginning of the season, to kind of set the tone for the rest and see where we're at as a team. So, and I think it just gives a good look. I mean, it's a good recruiting thing for being a smaller school, just kind of getting on the national stage, playing some bigger schools as well. But I mean, even last year when we played Ohio as well, that was the first FBS win that NEC conference team has had all time. So things like that, I think, are just nice to see and kind of just build up the program and kind of give them a nice test.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. What are your thoughts going into this? Right, like obviously, Florida State did drop a game last year to an FCS opponent. They may have learned their lesson a little bit by coming out and smacking UMass pretty hard, toward the end of the year. But, what are your thoughts going into the game? And, what are you looking for in a game like this where, like, the results probably not in question, but what kind of things are you trying to see from the team?
Yes, I mean, mainly I'm very interested to see our quarterback battle and kind of how that plays out. Because in our first game, our starting quarterback went out with a knee injury. And we had a true freshman come in who played really well throughout the year. And I know we still on our website, we don't have that listed as who's the starter. And I know they've both been doing really well in practice. So I'm very curious to see how that plays out.
Who are some names that Florida State fans should kind of keep an eye out for, right? Like when we play, Florida or Miami or Clemson or whatever, like we know who a lot of those guys are. Who are some guys that, Florida State fans will be hearing their name when the broadcast comes along on Saturday afternoon?
Yes, I mean, you'll definitely hear about Darius Prentice and Joe Mishler. Those are both of our quarterbacks. I'm sure hopefully we'll be on our end, we'll be hearing their name quite a lot. Then go into the run game. I mean, especially we have now, he is a sophomore, but Billy Lucas, who played really well last year. He averaged just over about 5 yards a carry. So I'm very curious too, against a bigger defense, we definitely haven't seen a team like Florida State. So, I mean, those are three names that I'm sure that you will hear quite a bit on Saturday.
What's kind of, okay, so like you get through the game Saturday and, kind of whatever happens, but what are your thoughts on like just Duquesne in general this year? Like you get past the first game, it's relatively meaningless, from a season outlook, but you guys play Hawaii, you guys play Youngstown State. I mean, you guys have a couple of kind of fun games. What are your thoughts just on the team in general? Where are they with respect to like their conference and the level of play that they're at?
Yeah, I fully expect them to win a conference championship this year. We have done that, especially as of late. We've won quite a few. And with some returning, especially, like I said, the quarterback position is such a key. And having young guys that are coming back now to their freshman year that contributed a lot, I see no reason why we can't have like this. This could possibly be our only loss of the season.
Cool.
So I know as Duquesne fans, we are very, very hopeful for this year. And we have experience playing Hawaii. So, maybe we'll get our second FBS win too.
Yeah. We'll be cheering for you, right? And just it'll help our playoff argument when we beat the best FCS team. So we'll be cheering for you guys for sure. If you guys have questions for my main man Jordan here, feel free to shoot those to my DMs. I really just kind of wanted to get your vibes, get your thoughts on this. I don't want to keep you super, super long. I will tell you, I'll also say hats off. I was feeling really cocky the other day, and I don't know if it was you or your co-host, and I said, like, give me all the Duquesne smoke, and I was somewhat joking just because I didn't think there was a Duquesne Twitter and also just was busy that day. So it was like, see, you didn't want the smoke, but shout out to you guys for going, shout out not only to your team for going toe-to-toe with a powerhouse program, but shout out to you guys, Duquesne Twitter, for going back and forth with FSU Twitter. You guys have held up much better than LSU Twitter has. So I will say that you guys are a tougher Twitter crowd than the Tigers fans. And they're out here deleting their accounts and crying on, going private and, so shout out to you guys.
Oh yeah. No, that was Nick. Yeah. Of course. He's ready for it. I mean, especially with us, like you mentioned, with our first episode just coming out recently and just kind of getting our flow. It's nice to kind of have that banner going back and forth.
It's fun.
So we were having a lot of fun too with the spread, which finally has come out. We were debating on what the spread for this game would be.
So what spread are you seeing, or where are you at with it?
So I've seen 39.5, 40, right around there. So I like Duquesne, and I am a betting man. too, so I know, and I kind of like looking at the trends and things like that. But if you go off of like past years, going against the FCS schools against FBS would have won about like 12 grand with $100 bets over the last
Nice.
like 10 years. It's crazy. Like you think they would, the bigger schools would normally cover, but that is not the case. So I'm probably going to follow that as we go here.
So I could see, so I would take the Noles in that. I won't bet this game this weekend. So like at 40 points, I won't bet it just because huge spreads are dumb. And I also try not to bet on FSU. In fact, if there's anything that I'm pretty known for, and we'll lose half the YouTube viewers and half the people in the space here, but I'll place emotional bets the other way. Like when we play, if we play Clemson, we're like a 3-point dog or whatever. I'll just take Clemson -3. So that way I'm either really happy that my team won or really happy that, Florida State won. That has bit me though. Like I've done that once on like a -3 spread, and then we lost by 2. And I was just like, you gotta, go over 2 on that. But so I'll avoid it this week, but I would lean Florida State to win that. Like I do think that Florida State needs like statement wins, and I think that they'll keep their foot on their pedal. But the one thing that would kind of keep me leaning or keep me avoid me kind of going that way is the weather. Like I could see this being a really sloppy, nasty game that is really slow, really drawn out, a lot of running and the score ends up being like 42-6 or something like that. And then I get screwed on the points or whatever. So that's why I avoid big spreads. But man, anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to get off your chest? You want to shout out your podcast? Y'all go give Jordan a follow. Give him some banter, give him some engagement on Saturday. Give them guys a hard time. Again, Andy Staples came on our podcast, and if you ever get down here to the South, you got to hit a Guthrie's. We named our podcast "Double Fries No Slaw" after Guthrie's. Andy Staples came on our podcast from The Athletic, and he literally said, "This is the best name of a podcast I've ever heard." I see Newberg in here. Shout out Newberg for coming up with it. But your podcast, The D's on Fire, which also again could be a reference to Tallahassee. Is probably a better podcast name. So shout out. You guys may not win tomorrow, but you do win the podcast battle name. So our name battle.
Well, I appreciate it.
Man, Jordan,
definitely has a couple meanings behind it. So
shout out your podcast, where people can find it. And we'll get you out of here, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. Yeah, you can catch the D's on Fire on YouTube and Spotify.
Good stuff. Well, good luck this weekend, man. And really
Thank you very much.
Good luck the rest of the year, really. Not too much on Saturday, but yeah, good luck the rest of the year. Thanks, buddy.
Oh, yeah, you guys as well. I'll be watching. Thanks for having me on.
You bet, buddy. Jordan from the D's on Fire. That's a wild name, man. Like that's absurd. But appreciate him coming on and go check their podcast out. I love what they're doing. I love that they're trying to go toe-to-toe with FSU Twitter. Like I said, tougher than the LSU people for sure. And like I said, that is a wild name. So shout out to him for those guys for that. I see my guy Max in here. I see Hunter in here. They started something new this week. Shout out those guys. I like anybody that's just like making content. Like I put this on Twitter the other day and talked about this a little bit. I just enjoy making content, and I like FSU. And so shout out to people that are out here doing stuff, because that's neat to me. So okay, let's jump into I'm going to get my guy Paul on. Paul Aloise Jr. Paul, I'm going to send you an invite to speak, and if you'll accept that, we'll get you on in just a second. I'm giving away a Garnet and Gold NIL shirt today. Personally, Garnet and Gold does not do giveaways for NIL stuff because they want to make sure the kids get paid. So if they give something away that has Jordan Travis's picture on it, the kid doesn't get paid. I'm paying for it. I'm using Josh's unemployment funds to do it, but I'm paying for this. Want to get you guys hooked up. Want to get you guys taken care of. The first person that orders something right now from Garnet and Gold using Spaces 15 gets whichever of the 4 shirts you want, right? So go order something, use Spaces 15, and then tag me in it, and we'll get you guys hooked up. Literally can buy anything you want. It has to be over $5. Don't go buy like a keychain or a sticker. Buy something from garnetandgold.com. And you can pick out whether you want Akeem, Fabian, Jordan Travis, or Amari Gaynor. If you're on YouTube right now, works just as well. YouTube, audience can go to garnetandgold.com, use spaces 15, first person to order something. First person that's not Richie Barnes. Richie is always the first person to order from like Garnet and Gold and Gramco on these things. First of all, he's rich, so that helps. But not allowed to be Richie on this one. Sorry. So I got to be a fan, listener, whatever. Shoot me a DM, tag Garnet and Gold and a tweet, whatever you want to do. And you can pick out your, we'll get an NIL shirt added to your order and sent out right away. Okay, cool. Paul, you're on mute real quick, so you got to come off mute. I think it's your first Spaces appearance. Paul played on our 2013 national championship team. He is an attorney at Brooks LeBeau. LeBeau? Am I saying that right? Brooks LeBeau. LeBeau. In Tallahassee, where he works in criminal defense, sexual harassment, and assault cases, as well as employment law. He's also an NFL agent that represents several former players, including our guy JP, who scored a couple of touchdowns to start off this NFL preseason. Guys both in the NFL and CFL. Paul, thanks for coming on, man. Renegade Sports Entertainment. Appreciate you for hanging out. How are you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good. It's game weekend. You know, every Friday before game day is just a little bit better, you know?
It is. It is. I was always a big fan of like that Friday checkout, like just getting out right away and going. And now I'm doing these spaces and stuff there in the middle of the day, so there's no checkout. But checkout's coming soon. So at least like work wise, gotta still chase the kids around. But you going to the game tomorrow, man? You pumped?
Yes, absolutely. I'll be tailgating beforehand. I'll be in College Town seeing some people. I'll be in tailgating, hitting the Champions Club. So definitely doing the first home game right this weekend.
Heck yeah, man! Excited to get out there. Talk to us a little bit about what you do with. Talk to us a little bit about your agency, Renegade Sports Entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely. So Renegade Sports was actually something I started in law school because to be an NFLPA certified contract advisor, you actually have to have a graduate degree or a law degree. And because I went right into law school after we won the national championship, we literally won the national championship January 2014. I started law school August 2014. So because I had that, 3-year waiting period now due to law school to actually take the NFLPA exam, I started doing marketing for my former teammates at Florida State who were now in the NFL, such as Carlos Williams and Jacoby McDaniel. Those are two guys that gave me an opportunity at a young age to work with professional athletes. And from there, we just have been growing and growing. And, over the last 3 years, we've done 19 NFL contracts, probably 6 or 7 CFL contracts, and been lucky enough to do a couple contracts with the XFL, USFL, and some of these other startup leagues these last few years. But, I always love representing any and all of my athletes, but it's always fun to be able to help represent some of these Florida State athletes. And it's especially fun to see, Matthew Thomas playing well up in the CFL this year. And of course, like you just said, JP Jacquez Patrick out with the Cincinnati Bengals fighting for that 53-man roster.
Absolutely. I'm putting a tweet up in the top of the space that I can get people to go follow your Instagram. And y'all give Paul a follow. Again, 2013 national champion, also marketing for a lot of our guys, a lot of our former Seminoles in the NFL and the CFL. I'm excited to see you continue to grow with that. I am super excited. We were talking the other day about the back and forth touchdowns between JP and Jay Sean the other day. Really, really cool to see that. But how's JP doing, man? Like, what are things looking like for him in Kansas City? In Cincinnati. I'm a state, sorry.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's been really enjoying being back with the Cincinnati Bengals. He was there last year, really had a fantastic preseason last year. And then, unfortunately, at the end of the preseason, he was cut but re-signed to the practice squad. And then shortly thereafter, the 49ers signed him off of their practice squad. And, he played 3 regular season games out there with them. So, there's a lot of benefits being on the active roster of any NFL franchise, but I know it was hard for him to leave Cincinnati at the time. So when we got the opportunity to go back there this year, he was ecstatic. And, it's really about him showcasing that he's not just a short yardage bruising back. It's him showing them that he's a 3-down back, that he can catch, that he can block, and most importantly, that he can play on special teams. And, fortunately, he's been able to showcase his talents as a versatile three-down back, and even made a tackle on special teams last week. So he's rolling.
I like it. It's exciting to see those guys, and we remember him obviously making huge impacts at Florida State, and then it's like getting to the next level and continue to make that impact in the NFL. So super cool there. All right, I want to talk to you about this, and then we can talk about anything else you've got going on. But talk to us a little bit about some of your work right now with criminal defense, different things that you're kind of working on. Maybe give some people some pointers or things for this weekend. Obviously, we'd prefer everybody be safe, but if you do make bad decisions, let's talk a little bit about what you're doing there.
Absolutely, yeah. If you make bad decisions, even though we don't want you to, and I know Double Fries, no Slot does not cheer or champion that, but if you do, call Paul. I'm a former felony prosecutor here in Leon County, also prosecuted in Palm Beach County. So I've been on both sides of the criminal law world. So I know what it takes to be arrested. I know what it takes to get charged officially by the state attorney's office. And I know what it takes to try and beat that case at trial on the defense side, or just how and when we need to try and resolve it by way of a plea. But, game weekends are one of those weekends where there's a lot of people in town, a lot of people who are not residents of Leon County back in town, and obviously a lot of partying, a lot of drinking. So though I can't give out any formal legal advice over the podcast, the couple of things I would really stress people to look out for is that here in town, and in the state of Florida, drinking and driving is not illegal, but drinking and driving to the point that you're impaired is. Now, what is impaired? That's something that you often hear in commercials. Okay, you blew a .08 or higher. Well, what about when you refuse that breath test? And what about when an officer still wants to make that arrest? He only has to have probable cause, and that's a low standard. So really think twice before getting behind the wheel of a car this weekend. I know Uber prices have surges. I know Uber prices have gone up, but I promise you it's much, much cheaper to pay for an Uber than to have to pay for a criminal defense attorney, to pay for your bond, to pay for all of the additional courses and classes that might come along with that DUI. And just, at the end of the day, when an officer pulls you over, if he suspects you're drinking, if he smells alcohol, if he sees those red glassy bloodshot eyes, if you're slurring your speech, I'm not saying that in and of itself is enough, but oftentimes, those are the magic buzzwords that I'm seeing in these arrests. So really, really, I would tell everyone who's coming out to please be careful about getting behind the wheel of a car, because, DUIs are just one of the number one crimes that are committed in this area. And then also with the evolution and the change in the medical marijuana laws, if your friend is in the car with you and has a medical marijuana card, that's great. But if they get out of that car and they happen to leave their medical marijuana in your vehicle, you could easily get charged with possession of a controlled substance. And if it's over 20 grams, it can become a felony. So just be careful about what you're consuming. Be careful about who you're hanging out with. Be careful about what's in your car. And ultimately, at the end of the day, if you are arrested, call Paul. We're here to help. I've been working as a criminal attorney for over 5.5 years now. And to touch briefly upon the sexual harassment, I have a big case right now out of Miami about someone who was visiting down there for spring break and was sexually assaulted at the hotel. So, my other piece of advice would be to please, men and women who are traveling, when you're out of your comfort zone, when you've been drinking, when you're coming back to the hotel late at night, make sure you're cognizant of who's around you and making sure that you are never walking somewhere by yourself, because that's how you can really help avoid horrible situations.
Yeah, at the end of the day, rather everybody just make good decisions would be the key. But if you don't, Richie just hashtag better call Paul. So I'm sure you've gotten that before. So
absolutely.
How can people get a hold of you? You guys give Paul a follow here on Twitter. Again, national champion 2013. If that's not enough, he can get you out of trouble when you get into it. All that said, I hope nobody has to call Paul this weekend or any weekend. Like, make good decisions. It's not that hard. If you need Venmo for an Uber, hit up Richie. He'll be more than happy to pay for it.
Richie had some nice J's on when we were just in Tampa for the block party. So we helped them out.
Richie owns I don't say where he works, but he does pretty well. I'll just say that. You take everybody's income in this whole space and double it, and then you're almost to Richie. So, Paul, I appreciate you for hanging out.
No, thank you, man. Thank you for having me. Always. Definitely, you guys can follow me on Twitter, but I'm definitely more active on Instagram at Paul_, my last name, ALOISE. I have a lot of clients, both in the criminal world and in the sports and entertainment world that, reach out to me via Instagram directly. And that's how they make initial contact. And then we set up a call, but also feel free to text or call. God forbid anything happens over the weekend. My personal line is 772-485-9259. Call Paul and go Noles.
Appreciate it, man. Y'all make good decisions this weekend. If you make bad ones, if your friends make bad ones, tell them about Paul. I know that Spaces listeners would never do that. So I appreciate you, my man.
Absolutely. Hopefully see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
See you, buddy. If you are out there tomorrow, if you're going to the game, we are doing a tailgate at the Heritage Fountain, right there next to the stadium. If you get up there in between the baseball field and the football stadium in Doak, there's the Heritage Fountain right there next to the FSU baseball ticket office. We're doing a tailgate there with Rising Spear. Any Rising Spear donors, members are welcome to come by the tailgate. If you're not one, we're suggesting about a $20 a person donation. So that's not a hard, fast donation, but we'd like to at least cover the costs and then make a little extra so that we can give back to the kids. So if you're a Rising Spear member, please come by the tailgate. If you're not, become a Rising Spear member or make a one-time donation so that we can get you out there at the tailgate. We'll have Guthrie's Chicken. We've got all kind of booze and fun stuff ready for you. Shade, which I made this pun last night, but that shade may turn into a shield with the weather that's coming through. We'll have good times. A lot of water, a lot of Coke, a lot of ice so that you guys can stay hydrated, and we'll have a fun time out there. So come hang out. We've got some of the FSU softball ladies stopping by, I believe, at about 2 p.m. So, again, all about giving back to the kids, and we're excited for the tailgate. Okay, we've done about 40 minutes here. Let me give a quick recap. Go to Gramco's post in the top of the space, like it, and then send me a screenshot of you following them. We'll get you entered to win some green apple gummies. You'll be one of the first ones to taste these things. Go to Garnet and Gold's post and reply with your score for FSU tomorrow. We'll pick whoever's right about that. We'll pick you and give out a gift card for that amount. We score 53 and you pick 53, you get a $53 gift card. And then go follow Paul on Instagram, Renegade Sports Entertainment in the top of the space. Show him some love. Make good decisions this weekend. But if you don't, give Paul a call. All right. I want to hear from you guys. We've done about 40 minutes on here. We'll stay on for about 20 more minutes and then we'll get out of here. I want to hear from you guys. Oh, last thing I forgot. If you haven't ordered, go order from Garnet and Gold. First person to do that, we're giving away a NIL shirt. I don't know if anybody's ordered or not yet. Let's get the orders in. We'll announce a winner as soon as we get off the spaces. I do have one more shout out we'll give in just a minute for my guy Primetime 2121. One more way for you guys to have a chance to win some stuff. But Joshua, how's it going, my man?
It's going good on a Friday. To get it out the way, no, I've not had a cocktail yet, but it'll be coming in the next couple hours.
Attaboy. Yeah,
for
get
sure.
Get
for
after
sure.
it.
Exactly. Can't wait for tomorrow, man. Honestly, I got my flag outside. Where I live in Vegas, there's so many people from other places, so it's kind of funny if you walk around neighborhoods, you see people with their other flags out. So I plant my flag on the first story of my house and let them know who I'm going to be pulling for tomorrow, and they can, if they don't like it, they can kiss my ass. So I got a Florida fan down the street. He's actually a good guy, but we hate each other for about 12 weeks right now.
Yeah, well, screw them, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I hate that guy too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my only question, man, and I caught on late because people don't respect fake meetings on the calendar, but I'm kind of curious who I know people are talking about all the players that we hope are playing by the second half. I want to ask who we don't want to see play. I'm curious because the way I think about it is because it's probably because of injury or something else. I'm kind of thinking about who we don't want to see play tomorrow.
The only name that I would say is Maurice Smith. Like, I don't know if he could. I mean, he's not listed on the depth chart. I don't know if he could play in an absolute emergency situation. I think they just moved Gibbons over. But yeah, I don't want to see him in. I don't know if there's anyone else that I would say I don't want to see in. I feel comfortable with everyone else. I mean, I don't want to see Jordan past, the first drive of the third quarter. And I don't want to see many of the starters past that. But I don't know if there's anybody now. If there's somebody in your mind that you're thinking of, I mean, feel free to share them. But I don't know if there's anybody that I don't want to see in the game tomorrow. For any, I understand your thought process there. I just don't know if there's anybody that kind of fits that bill for me.
Yeah, I have a couple, but main one is Duffy, only because God forbid something does happen to Jordan, and we have to burn, because I think the plan is to probably redshirt him. And if they want to do that and say hopefully we're all praying that Jordan stays healthy the whole year, and just thinking of ways that we don't burn a red shirt if we don't have to, by playing him in the Duquesne game, and then we might have to play him, game 4 and 5 because Travis is out, and Rodemaker ain't cutting it or whatever it is to burn that red shirt. So that was kind of one of them I was thinking. Don't get me wrong, it'd be great to get him in-game reps, but based on history with Jordan, I'm just kind of back and forth on it, how we're going to kind of play that out, to be honest. Especially not knowing what's going to happen next year.
Yeah, that's a good, okay, so I'll buy that, but I'll play devil's advocate as well. I don't think that matters anymore. Like, if Duffy's going to be that guy, he's only going to be here for 3 years after this either way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially with some of the guys that there were, with the transfer portal and, the 2024 commit, and then we'll see what happens with Mike's tenure and everything else. I think that, I can't imagine a situation where he's starting as a 5th-year senior here, because it just doesn't really happen anymore in college football. So at the quarterback position, right? So I get it, but I just don't know how many games he's truly going to have time to get reps in. And so to me, the situation is, he might get reps in this game, he might get reps in the Louisiana game. Maybe, I just don't know if we're going to get to a third string quarterback against Georgia Tech or Syracuse or teams like that. So I'm kind of the opposite. I want him to get in because I don't know if he can get in at other times. And if you have to go to Duffy full time, the red shirt doesn't matter, because you were going to have to play him 6 or 8 games anyway. And if it was only for a 1-game scenario, I think they're bringing Tate in anyway. So, but again, I don't think he would be here as a 5th-year senior regardless. I think they'd either have moved on, or he'd have gone to the draft or something, the chances of him being, good enough to keep his job, but not good enough to go to the draft. If Florida State's winning, I just can't imagine he's starting here in 2026 or 7 or whatever. So the red shirt doesn't matter to me as much, but I do get what you're saying there. I'll just play devil's advocate a little bit.
Right. And I was also thinking some of the freshmen minus Armella offensive linemen, only because that means that we got some injuries, and obviously injuries going into LSU is not going to bode too well. So, thinking about some of those guys who, look like they're developing well, obviously we all hope they do. It'd be great to get reps, but I kind of feel like if they're playing, then, and I'm talking about the freshmen, because we got other guys that have been in the program, obviously like Schrader, and I'm sorry, blanking the other guy's name, a couple other ones, but Estes, yeah, thank you. So hopefully they can get reps, because obviously they've been injured and, they show a lot of promise. But I kind of feel like if some of the freshmen minus Armella are playing on offensive line, and that's because we got some injury issues, and going to such a big game the following week, that's just something I hopefully don't have to see. Yeah,
again, I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate there, as long as they're in after everyone else. If they rotate through the entire offensive line getting in, then that's fine. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I should have prefaced it by saying, in the first half, I guess, or something like that. If we're up 35-3, then play them, all we want to, definitely get them reps and all that stuff. I just mean if they're playing early, I guess I should have prefaced it a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you've got a big chance this weekend to get up big on a team, and then second half get absolutely everyone reps. Get Armella out there and let him feel what that game speed feels like, right? That's not going to be the same as anything else that happens this year, but it's still different than, practice and, shells and everything else. So I'm with you on that. I don't want to see any of those young guys. I just want health, right? That's the most important.
Exactly.
Get up 35 at the half and get those guys out.
Well, I got one more thing for you, because I'm doing a couple prop bets here, because obviously where I live and it's just fun to do. I saw one that was over/under on Florida State getting 2 kick returns for the year. And obviously based on recent history, we've had none since DJ Matthews, I think was the last person that returned one. But I don't know. It just seems like an intriguing bet with the guys we have back there now, and hopefully the improvements on special teams, but definitely interested in your thoughts on that.
So the over/under is 2 even.
Yeah,
and it's kicks only, not kicks and punts.
No, kicks and punts, just returns or touchdowns for returns.
Yeah, give me the over on that because I'll take one of each. I mean, that's it could very easily go under, but give me the over if it counts both of them. What I do wonder is like if you block a punt and return that, does it count? I think so. That might be something to ask about.
I think the profit was just kick returns.
Okay,
it just said kick returns.
so not punt returns.
Yeah.
So
No, kick. Sorry, any type of kick return, punt, or kickoff return. So it's not kickoff; it's just kick returns, punt, or kick returns. But if blocks don't count, it's just touchdowns off either punts or kicks.
Okay, I'll still take the over because I think it's going to be 2. Like I think they get 1 touchdown on a kick return and 1 on a punt return.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to end up being a push, which is a boring answer. But you got to take the over for that. Like you can't take the under, like because you could always look into 1 more. You could
Sure.
But you can't ever go backwards. So life's too short to bet unders. Over me.
Exactly. Well, I'm gonna ride with it and see what happens. I just thought curious to someone else's take on it because I saw it and I was about to hit the button and I was like, let's see. But I'll sure have a couple cocktails and like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Put an extra 100 down for me.
Well, awesome. Oh, sure. We'll do. Well, awesome, man. I got my Garnet Gold order coming in soon as well. Can't wait to get my little man all dressed up, even though he'll grow out of it in 3 weeks. So I'll just have to order more. But yeah, man, can't wait for tomorrow. Thanks again for doing this. Have a great weekend, everybody. Go Noles, and can't wait for the follow-up pods so we can discuss a win on the first weekend of the season in God knows how long.
I'm with it. Yeah, since 2016. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, take care, my man.
All right, buddy. Okay, we've tried and talked a ton about Tony Perez over at DSP Insurance. Brandon, I see you requested. I'll get you. Actually, I'll just add you now and then just go on mute real quick and we'll give one more plug and shout out and then we'll get Brandon on here and anybody else that wants to speak and then we'll get out of here for the day. I'm ready for the game, man. I'm ready for it to be at this point tomorrow. I'll be in Tallahassee, so this will be fun. 24 hours from now, but we've mentioned Tony Perez. Not only can he take care of your employment benefits if needed, he can also take care of you from a life insurance, car insurance, and home insurance perspective. Actually, I don't know if life's a thing. Homeowners and car insurance. We're doing a giveaway with Tony Perez as well. Listen, I know you don't want to put your info out there on the internet. I know you don't want to send it to just anybody. Tony is a legitimate person, right? Like this is not just some fake thing. So I'm going to give you guys Tony's email. Everyone that sends Tony an email with just the words "Go Noles" is entered to win a $50 Garnet and Gold gift card. I haven't even spoken with Garnet and Gold about this, but like he's just going to buy the Garnet and Gold gift card. It's tperez at dspins.com. All you have to do is email Tony right now, tperez at dspins.com. We'll pick one person and give them a $50 Garnet and Gold gift card. That's all you got to do. Go do it right now while we're on Spaces. tperez at dspins.com. If you're on YouTube, you can also do it. Email Tony, Go Noles, and you get entered to win a $50 gift card from Garnet and Gold. Tony may reach out to you and try and chat about your car insurance, your home insurance. If you don't want him to, just reply, stop texting me, Go Noles. But everyone that emails Tony, tperez at dspins right now, Richie, you can actually win this one. Gets entered to win a $50 Garnet and Gold gift card. A $50 Garnet and Gold gift card is really like a $60 to $65 Garnet and Gold gift card because of the 15% off the Spaces. So you're welcome for the little bit of extra money. Okay, Brandon, what's going on, my man?
Hey, how you doing, man? I'm excited. Season starting tomorrow. Hopefully we start off on a good note. And, 1 week away from being in New Orleans, getting shit-faced for 3 days. I'll actually not only be at the tailgate, but I'll also be I'm probably going to end up at Kraken's Bar on Saturday to watch the games at some point, if I make it there. But I just had a quick question. I was always wondering this after listening to your podcast yesterday. I listened to the Nolecast draft preview or the snap count preview. Do you think the teams ever make altercations to their plan for a specific recruit? What I mean by that is so you got a guy like Hakeem Williams coming in on to visit for the LSU game, or to watch, I should say. It's not technically a visit. Do you think we add more plays to the passing to entice him more, because there's a big time receiver like him that could be a program changer, a guy that we haven't seen come to Florida State in a while? Do you ever think we say, okay, let's maybe add a couple more deep balls just to if we connect, that matters a lot to a guy like Hakeem. Do you think that's a thing, or am I just overthinking this?
My gut would say that they're doing everything that they can to just try and win that game, because I think that if they win that game, that means more than if they connect on 2 deep balls and lose by 14, right? So like that would be my initial gut reaction lean. I do remember when you were playing, okay, so y'all are going to make fun of me for this. I do remember that when you were playing NCAA 14, the type of offense that you ran and how players at certain positions did mattered in recruiting, right? If you were recruiting a wide receiver and he visited that weekend, throwing for 250 yards did get you more points. So yeah, I would think that if you come out and run Georgia Tech's offense against LSU and run the option every play, like Hakeem Williams isn't going to like to see that. I think you have to be calculated in how you do that, because your ultimate goal is to win that game. And that would probably mean more than anything any one specific play or any concept that you show. I think a lot of kind of what you're talking about there is shown is Mike Norvell probably taking him aside and saying, like, look, this is my offense. Like, this is what I've done over my career. These are the passing routes. These are the concepts. This is what we run here. And this is what I'm going to run here with you here. Not necessarily like that it's one play in a game or a couple of plays in a game. I think their main goal is to try and win the game. And so they're going to do anything they can to do that. You'd like for your offense to be in a place, and if Jordan Travis has taken a step and the pass pro offensive line has taken a step, you'd like to be in a position to be able to do both of those things at the same time when he is in attendance for the LSU game. But I don't necessarily know that you're certainly, I mean, do they try and do it? Maybe. Are you going to do it at the detriment of like what's the best play to move the ball forward or, move on? Probably not. I think you're more just focused on winning the game, and your concepts over Mike Norvell's entire career and what he's done probably ring louder for Hakeem Williams than what he sees in one specific game, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I just overthink things. And then last thing.
I like the thought, though. I like that. Like they should throw a wide receiver pass. Yeah, they should throw a wide receiver pass out there, because like, why the heck not? Get span running that thing.
I mean, not only is Hakeem, in my opinion, one of the best players in that class, not just because of his number, but I've watched film on him, and he's phenomenal. But he's also a guy that can add other players to your class that you weren't, at first thinking that were going to be a possibility. And I think he is a guy that we have a really good chance to get. I don't know. I was thinking about that because, you had a guy like Ja'Kai Douglas who had that deep ball against Notre Dame. Like, what if he had like 2 of those, 2 deep ball touchdowns on, LSU, and then you maybe squeak out that game, you win. I mean, that's with Hakeem committing in sometime September, it seems like, that could be huge. But last thing, so I can let other people on this. What is a hot take, or not a hot take, what is a prediction for tomorrow's game that you think is extreme, but could be accessible? Like, do you think like Travis goes for 400 total yards? Do you think Philly could go for like 150? Like, what's a hot prediction for you?
The game doesn't finish before midnight due to the weather. That's one that nobody wants to hear, but I don't even know if that's a hot take. I think that could be a real one. All right. So on the field,
check the weather. Is it bad?
It's not great. It's not great. Late August in Florida. It's just on the field. Aaron Cabrera, I hate you so much. I just saw that tweet. On the field, yeah, let's go. See, I don't know, man. I think they're going to pull Jordan out and try to not, I think they're going to run the ball a lot and try not to run with him a lot. I'll go that we have a play that's 80 yards or longer. And that's either going to be, a pass run or, punt/kick return. So I'll go like the most explosive of explosive plays. We'll have a long one. Last year we had an 85-yard run against Notre Dame from Corbin. So give me an 80 or longer type play tomorrow. Just like something that absolutely lights people up. It might be a kick return. It might be a screen pass that Micah Pittman takes all the way or something. I don't know, but give me an extremely. They'll have a 79-yarder watch tomorrow just to screw with me. But I'll go with like a massively explosive play. I think they're gonna like mix it up so much here and there that I don't know if anybody's gonna have a crazy rushing total or passing total or receiving total. I'll give one more. You asked for one, I'll give you 3. Weather, long play. We're pitching a shutout tomorrow. Duquesne's not scoring on any team, on any defense. So they'll kick a field goal on the opening drive. Just
I like that. Mine is Johnny Wilson gets 2 receptions and both are touchdowns.
I think
that.
Like,
and red zone like fades because I mean he's 6'7", big body. Who's covering him on Duquesne?
Yeah.
You know, you get to the 15-yard line, give him a fade route. So that's
I like it.
But awesome. Well, I'll see you over in New Orleans next week, and go Noles.
Awesome, Brandon. Appreciate you, man. Go Noles. Kraken, I saw you requested. I got to get that graphic out for Kraken's Bar. I'm going to do that as soon as we get off the spaces today. We are hanging out at Kraken's Bar a week from tomorrow. Florida State plays on Sunday, so we will be at Kraken's Bar. It's 12-mile limit. We'll be there on Saturday night watching. I see my buddy Eddie in here. Watching Utah and Florida. Georgia, Oregon kicks off right before that. That's a game with a lot of intrigue with Dan Lanning going up against his old team. My main man, Kenny Dillingham, on that staff as well. That one will be a ton of fun as well. I'm going to be at Kraken's Bar, and then just Uber me home, right? There in New Orleans. But if you're coming to New Orleans, Saturday night, come hang out with us at 12-mile limit there in New Orleans. Kraken. We're going to have the drink specials going. We're going to have it all ready to go for all of you Noles to come and hang out and watch. Man, it is relaxing to watch all that other football when your team's not playing. There's a little bit of nerves like for the next day, but it is nice to watch everybody else play. You know your team can't disappoint you that day. It's amazing. Right on cue, my man Kraken coming up in the space. What's going on, brother?
TJ, man, I'm hanging out with a friend of mine, helping him with some stuff he's got going on. I just wanted to hop on and just say, yes, man, we're excited to have everyone coming in on Friday. 12-mile limit, exactly like you said, 500 South Telemachus. The word is actually Telemachus, but in New Orleans, they say shit weird. So South Telemachus, Telemachus. We look forward to everything. Don't be a fucking asshole because I don't want to have to kick you out. Don't wear anything goddamn orange because I don't want to have to kick you out. Go fucking Noles. I'm busy, but I'm listening, TJ. Have a great day.
Love you, bro. Kraken's my guy, man. Excited for that. Okay, 38-0 at the half, 1 defensive score or special teams. Do you put Travis in for a series after halftime? And how many series does Rodemaker get with the ones before you start sitting other guys? Man, that's a great question. That would be a great super chat question if you're on YouTube. We finally have that enabled. I'm going to answer it either way because I've already read the whole thing, and I think it was a great question. But, got another one here. What's more likely, 8 or 5? We'll talk about that in just a moment. But, yeah, utilize that super chat if you're on YouTube. That would be very appreciated. Or if you just like the content, you could do that. And I had somebody hit me up yesterday, and they literally just asked, I really do appreciate you guys. Look, if you're just in the space hanging out, I appreciate you guys because you're supporting by being here. You guys all shop at Garnet Gold and Gramco and different things. So all of that's dope. And so I appreciate you for that. But I literally had a guy hit me up yesterday and asked, like, hey, what's the best way I can support you? Really appreciate all that you do. You seem like a good guy. And I was like, well, you got most of that right, besides me being a good guy. But appreciate you guys for always supporting. All right, 38-0 at the half. So you scored a field goal there and a defensive touchdown. So Travis has four series where he's led touchdown drives. So a 5th one with a field goal. I probably don't put Travis in, especially considering weather. If the score's 38-0 at the half, I think I leave him out. As far as Tate, I wouldn't give him a lot of series with the ones. I would certainly not the offensive line. I would get them out pretty quickly. I guess if you wanted to rotate some running backs and wide receivers around because those rooms are really, really deep, I mean, I guess that's fine. But yeah, I'm not leaving that offensive line in too much longer on that wet, sloppy field. If it was just kind of a normal day, 72 degrees and sunny, maybe I leave them in for a little bit more. But I get guys out and just start getting ready for the next game. I don't know what the net benefit of Tate Rodemaker beating up on Duquesne really is. I know you want to get him reps, but not at the cost of someone potentially getting injured. I do like that question a lot, though. What's more likely, 8 wins or 5? I mean, I think 8 is. I think that 7 is the most likely. I think that 6 is what's next. And then I think 8 and then 5 and then 9, minus like some kind of catastrophic injury. I'll give you a little thought process behind that. 7's the most likely to me. I think you've got 5 games on the schedule you have to win. Duquesne, BC, Louisiana, Georgia Tech, Syracuse. You've got 3 games on the schedule or 2 games on the schedule I do not expect wins in, NC State and Clemson. And then you've got a bunch of toss-ups. LSU, Louisville, Miami, Wake Forest, Florida. Those 5 toss-ups, you just got to win 2 of them, right? You just got to win 2 of those games. Upset LSU, beat Wake Forest without a quarterback, split with your rivals. Whatever the situation is, you just have to win 2 of them. That's why I think 7's the most likely. I think 8's the next most likely because your chances there are win 3 out of the 5, right? Split with your rivals and beat Wake Forest in Louisville, right? So I think that's more likely. Then I move down to 6, right? I moved 6 the other way, but 6, then 8, then 5. I think 5 is pretty unlikely. 5 means that you lost to a team you shouldn't. It means that you just beat all the teams you were supposed to and you lost every single coin flip. I don't think that's really realistic. I think 8 is more likely to me than 5, but you could make an argument either way. Is 9-3 being over the top? Maybe a little bit. Vegas has this team at a 6.5 over under. 9 is a lot. I think you're more likely to get to 8 and then 9 in a bowl game. Is 9 possible? Yeah, but you need to start. I think you have back-to-back losses coming in October with NC State and Clemson. Could things happen there? Could Florida State win those games? Yes, absolutely. Played both those teams really well last year. You're probably still losing both of them. So to go 9-3 means you can only mess up one more time. So you need to beat to get to 9 wins, you need to beat LSU and Louisville. And if you do that, you're starting the season probably 5-0. And you're going to that Wake Forest game at 5-0. And if they don't have the quarterback, you're starting the season 6-0. That's where I could see you getting to 9-3. In all likelihood, you split with your rivals. So there's a loss. You probably lose to NC State and Clemson. There's 2 more losses. And you can't lose another game, right? Now, if you sweep your rivals and lose to LS, there's other paths. 9-3 seems really, really high to me. I think 8-4 is probably a little more likely with how the schedule shakes out. Question on Helton. McDonald's a little bit banged up. I don't want to go super deep into any kind of detail there, but he's a little bit banged up. We kind of expect him back soon enough. Not kind of any kind of season-ending thing. Helton's on special teams. Again, as polite as I can say it, if the guy in a deep room, if he's not listed on the 2 deep, probably just means other guys are having a little bit better camps, playing a little bit better right now than he is, or any guy is, right? I don't want to single Helton out specifically. I know people have asked about Travis Jay and some other guys. If they're on the 2 deep, other guys are playing their way ahead of them, and that's probably the easiest way to put that. Kraken, you back on here? You requested. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. It might have been a mistake here. All right, Real Deal 8-3. All right, a Gator and Bucks fan. I'm sure this will go well. Wanted to come in and chat. Let's see how. Don't get kicked off here, bro, because I like kicking people off. I'm like Newberg on Same Energy Sunday. How's it going? Real Deal 8-3. What's the 8-3 for? My man, you're on mute. Oh, he fell off. Not the real iDoc, FSU. Let's do that one. What's up, iDoc? You're on mute. You're on mute, iDoc. You're there with me? All right, now you're off mute. How's it going? All right, he's off too. That was fantastic radio the last 30 seconds where 2 people requested and came on and then never said anything. Any more questions on YouTube? Any other questions in the DMs? I'll scroll the DMs real quick and look. I don't think I had a ton there. If you enjoyed the YouTube broadcast, of course, you can always hit the super chat button. We appreciate that. Let's see here. Any other requests? If not, we'll wrap this thing up and we'll get out of here. Let's look at the DMs real quick. Let's see here. Oh, Miami's new stadium not happening. That's absolutely hilarious. Shout out to my guy, Money Team 863. Shoot me a message. I retweeted that just before we started the spaces. I think it's actually my last tweet before the spaces. Rafael Yanez, an attorney and political analyst, also a Gator undergrad and a Law alum, said that Tropicana Park is not for sale. John Ruiz should focus his on his abysmally low MSRP share price, down 81.33% since going public. Instead of trying to steal public parks from Miami, focus on your business, John. Leave Miami's green spaces alone. So that's, obviously hilarious. Again, I mentioned this to you guys a couple of weeks ago, but what I've been told is that the big play for Ruiz here has always been to get a stadium, and that he knew he was going to lose his tail on NIL because there's absolutely no return on an app that is essentially a competitor to the free app that comes on everyone's iPhone. Why you would download another app to, check your heartbeat and or your, number of steps and, store your medical information, which, I don't know any college football fans that are doing that because I've seen the decisions you guys make out there on Saturdays. And so thinking that you're planning ahead for your medical emergencies is not something I think that this group is doing by large numbers. You should, but you can just use the Apple app to do that. And you don't have to download LifeWallet. But anyway, I think everyone knew that he would lose his tail on NIL, but then he would build a stadium or help Miami build a stadium and then make a lot of money back on that. The reason you're seeing John Ruiz withdraw and not, he's given interviews and talking a lot about how he made withdraw because the return's just not there on NIL. Like he's literally gone on record and said these things, is because it's becoming more and more and more, less and less and less likely that a stadium gets built. And billionaires don't care about college football. I know they say they do because they're trying to rile up a base and they want support, but there's a reason that John Ruiz just came on the scene this year, right? Did he not love Miami before? Did he not want to give them a stadium before? Did he not want to help out his alma mater before? No, he didn't. He saw this as a play to make money on a stadium, which was a great play if a stadium could have gotten built. I don't think it looks likely that stadium is going to get built. And I think within 2 years, you'll see John Ruiz get out of the NIL game because I just don't think that he really cares about Miami. I think he cares about money because he's a billionaire. And if I was a billionaire, I wouldn't care about, I promise you I wouldn't be doing spaces at 1 p.m. on a Friday, y'all. I'll be out on a yacht somewhere. I wouldn't be tweeting y'all anymore. I would only tweet Aaron. He's the only person I would tweet on here. I can already tell I'm going to get death threats for that 2-minute rant. But my man does not care about Miami. He doesn't care about NIL. He just wants to make more money, which hats off to him. That's all I want to do too. Like I get it, but we're in different tax brackets by a lot. My man's got me beat. All right. I don't think I have any more questions. Okay. Do I expect Maurice? Okay. Here's a good one. I'll get a call from FSU today. That'll be great. Do I expect Maurice or Winston Wright back in the first half of the season? Yeah. I think Maurice is back by LSU. I have, that hasn't been confirmed to me. That hasn't been, written in stone. I think Maurice Smith will be back for LSU. If he's not back for LSU, I think there's a really good chance that he's back for Louisville since there's the bye week there. I think Winston Wright is probably more of an October thing, if I had to guess. That hasn't been confirmed to me either. That's just kind of where I put the timeline at. We'll see. It could be, I'd love for them both to be back next week, but I think until you start seeing Winston Wright out at practice, it's pretty safe to us, doing full drills, which, obviously there's some things the guys at practice can say and some things the guys at practice can't say. Until they say that he's practicing fully, he's not practicing fully. They'll say that when he is, because they can't say on who's not practicing, but they can't say who is. So until you see Winston Wright doing all those drills, probably not. Keep an eye on this Monday's depth chart. We'll do another space right at noon, right after Norvell's finished talking with his Monday press conference, and we'll talk about the depth chart. And don't be shocked if Maurice Smith is listed as an or on that depth chart. Again, not guaranteeing it, but that's kind of where my gut lies with that. All right. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. If you didn't do any of the things at the very beginning that you were asked to do, you're not going to win anything. But different ways to win stuff today. Go reply to the Garnet and Gold tweet. If Jordan Travis gets hurt and knocked out for the rest of the season, are we doomed? Yes. The answer to that is yes. But go reply to the Garnet and Gold tweet in the top of the space with your score for FSU tomorrow. If you get that right, you get a gift card for that amount. So Florida State scores 35 and you pick 35. We'll all be upset, but you'll make $35. They score 55 and you pick 55, you get that much in a gift card. Go follow Gramco on Instagram. Send me a screenshot that you followed them, and we will get you entered to win the green, I almost said red apple, the green apple gummies. You'll get to try them before almost anybody else does. And the last thing we had was, Tony Perez, DSP Insurance T Perez at DSP INS. Send Tony an email that says "Go Noles." We'll get you entered to win a $50 Garnet and Gold gift card. Guys, I'm out for today. We are going to do an instant reaction spaces tomorrow evening. I don't know what time the game will be over, but it will be over at some point. We will do an instant reaction Garnet. We will do an instant reaction spaces. It'll also be here on YouTube. So check that out. Hang out with us whenever the game's over. If it's at a decent hour, Richie will fire it up. If it's really late at night, I might just do it at midnight and you guys can watch it back the next morning. It'll be like 15 minutes. But thank you guys for hanging out. If you're in town this weekend, please be safe. Swing by the Rising Spirit Tailgate. Support our sponsors. And we will see you guys all for the Instant Reaction Show. Go Noles. Hey, I didn't get this plug. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already done it, I only have a few people in here today. I understand that you guys are actually working, so that's fine. Swipe down on the chat, hit the subscribe button so you make sure you're here next time and you're here for the instant reaction tomorrow night. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. Shoot me a message if you have any questions, if you need anything. Until next time, go Noles.